Ah, ah, bang, bang. What's happening? So, welcome to another edition of Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. As you can see, we just doing the talk part because it's supposed to rain. That's what I was told. And I don't like to get wet. So, I hope this Monday morning you're feeling wonderful, that you're ready to take on the world. Tanya said, good morning. Good morning, Tanya. How you been, Tanya? You all right, Tanya? So, uh, so Tanya, I want to talk about either perception or are you doing just enough? Which one you think we should go with? Perception or are you just doing just enough? Which one? Which one you want? Which one you think we should talk about? Perception or are you just doing just enough? I'm glad you've been doing good. I've been pretty good. Just uh, doing what I do and try to do more of it. Just enough. Okay, Tanya said, let's talk about just enough. So, uh, there is most of us. I mean, I think all of us have stuff that we want to accomplish, and some of us just want to be comfortable, and some of us just cool where we at, so we do just enough to maintain what we have. So my question to you is, should a person should always be striving for more, or is just enough a great place to be? I think what just popped in my mind, right, is that uh, I don't know why it keeps popping up in my head, but the latest shutdown has been. I mean, it exposed, like, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it kind of highlighted that we have become comfortable with doing just enough, or some of us are living uh, above our means, which I don't think is a really a bad thing, as long as you if you living above your means, that you still trying to figure out how to increase your revenue so that it'll match uh, the plateau where you're living, but just enough. So sometimes uh, I have to admit that I have done just enough, and it could be on small stuff or it could be major stuff. But the only time I don't do, well, I ain't gonna say the only time, but for example, right? If so, I have. I think I told you about this because I've never showed it. So this is a journal I created, right? You see it? It's a journal, and in this journal, right? So you see how have your like weekly to do list. So it's my task list, right? And then if you go back some more, you'll see uh like the long term goals. This isn't the one. This isn't actually mine. It's the one that I'm working in. But so my point is, so like I'll set uh my long term goals, and then I'll set what the short term goals are that leads up to the long term goals, and then I'll have like this weekly task, like 7-day task, right? And with this weekly task, I may have anywhere from 3 things to 30 things on there that I must do that week in order to get me closer to accomplishing my goals. Ski Wee said, good morning. Where did you get that from? Oh, this? I created this. Look, see? See that right there? So my website is where I got it from. LamontCarey.com, LamontCarey.com /books. But if you just go to LamontCarey.com, you can hit on shop and you'll see the journal in there. But so say I got 3 things on there, and I may knock off like one of them today when I could do all of them today, right? But I'm just doing just enough to feel like I'm moving. And I don't know if it's a bad thing or I don't know if it's a good thing, but sometimes I feel like it's a bad thing because I'll be like, all right, whoo, I worked on that. All right, I'm a chill now. That's just enough. Ski said, oh, thanks. I know your name. Oh, my apologies. I'm just so much in the habit of doing that, Ski. My apologies. So, my question to you, do you do just enough or do you do more than enough? Boomy. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah, sister. Amen. Good morning, Boomy. So do you find yourself doing just enough to get by? Like some of the kids that I engage with, when we talking about what was done in school, right? They was like, man, I just did enough. I ain't got to do everything right now, and I just did enough. And I ain't saying that doing just enough is a bad thing, but I don't know. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Because if I got a list of 30 things on it that I need to accomplish in order to accomplish my long-term goals, right? And I can do those 30 things in 3 days versus 7 days, why don't I knock them out? And that way I'd be closer to accomplishing my goals, right? Tanya said, sometimes, yes, I do just enough, and sometimes I feel I overdo it. Can you give me an example of doing just enough and an example of overdoing it? So, hey Heather, we talking about doing just enough. Is doing just enough a bad thing or is it a good thing? And do you ever do just enough? Hey Star, how you doing? Good morning, Star. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Hey, so we're talking about doing just enough. Is doing just enough a bad thing? And I guess it depends on how you looking at it. Star said good morning. So what I was telling them, right? See this is the journal I created. See my name right there. And I was telling them that in my journal, I write like what my long-term goals are, what the short-term goals are to accomplish the long-term goals. And then I have like weekly to-do lists. Like every week I have stuff on there that's supposed to last me 7 days to complete. And every week I should be closer to my long-term, my short-term, completing my short-term goals will lead to my long-term goals. And I was saying that sometimes, some days I get up. And so like, example, I'm working on this big grant template, right? Because I always feel like I'm coming from behind when I'm going after grants. So I decided that I was going to create this huge grant with everything in it that I do, with budget, with program descriptions, with outcomes, and with all of this stuff in the grant, right? And I'm not doing this alone because I hate technical work. So Ms. Richardson been working together for probably like 2 weeks, right? And we've been working on this grant. Boom, 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 working on this grant. And then some days we be working and we'll say we have, I'm explaining like one complete program. So say like my Bossing Up program, which is like the wealth building program where we talk about investments, stocks, life insurance and stuff like that. And so we might describe that program and what the outcomes are of that program. And then after I look and see that it took us like 2 hours because I'm famous for reinventing the wheel, and she'd be like, no, Lamont, just stick to what, because my brain is always trying to figure out how to improve what it is that I'm doing. And so sometimes it stretches out something that's supposed to be simple. This is why I don't like technical work, right? And and then I'll be like, whoo, I'm done for the day with that. That's enough. That's all we got to do today. But she still is willing to work with me to get more done. But I say this just enough. So Boomy said, I'm learning to do just enough so I don't burn myself out. Accomplishing too many things in a short amount of time can stress me out. Really? So how do you gauge when it's just enough? So if you got 10 things on your list, do you decide to do, I mean, out of that 10, what will be just enough? And and are you doing just enough? Well, this is to everybody. Are you doing just enough in your business and you not reaching uh the your target market, right? You doing just enough marketing on social media or through other mediums that you market through. You do just enough today, right? Or you making candles, right? And you decide I'm gonna make 30 candles this week, and you do 7 today, and you say, all right, that's just enough. I'm gonna leave the rest. But you in the mood to knock everything out. So Star said it depends on the situation. These dudes be doing just enough sometimes that works. Joking, but for real, I need to get better with to-do lists and bringing in a strong team to collaborate where my patience or expertise falls short. My mind be everywhere, so I can admit that I do just enough as far as myself. But for other people, I'm all in. I think that might be typical of all of us. So I don't know if you already got you a to-do list, something that you do your to-do list on. So you see this? This is how I do my to-do list. You see it say tasks, weekly tasks, and it got like you number the tasks. And so what I do in mine that I use, I go off and I check off each one, right? But no, that ain't how I do it. I actually color code, right? So say everything that I'm working on this week is black. And as I started working on it, I turned it purple. So I know I've started. Boom, when I'm finished, I painted orange. So orange means that I'm complete. So why is it, Star, that you do just enough for yourself, but you be all in for everybody else? And give me an example on when you're doing just enough for yourself. And I want to talk about eventually the dudes, right, that do just enough. Because I think I may have done just enough a lot of times with females. Star says, someone just gave me a project book. I've actually been using it. I'm excited. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. So tell me about doing just enough. So you just told me this is Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. And we usually do this every morning at 8 a.m. unless I have to do something else. But other than that, for the most part, I've been here every morning, 8 a.m. So now when my schedule is being made, everything comes after 9 o'clock. So if you have tried to book to have a conversation with me, and I'd be like, well, it got to be after 9, it's because I'm dedicating this time so that we can build and so we can become more efficient, more successful, so we could trade ideas to build each other up. 8 o'clock still a good time for y'all, right? Because it's either 8 a.m. or it's going to be late. So is 8 o'clock still a good time for y'all? Heather said, I hear that, Star. So Heather, do you do just enough, Heather? Or do you go far and beyond, Heather? Heather, because Heather be getting on me. So I know Heather may go a little bit far and beyond because sometimes she be like, Lamont, did you finish? Blah, 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 blah. So she be pushing me. So again, it's just enough. Ski-wee, what is of course? What's of course, Ski-wee? And so Ski-wee, do you do just enough or do you push way beyond the envelope? Heather said, I'm talking about the dudes. Oh, that the dudes do just enough? So, all right, well, what is just enough that y'all claiming that dudes do? Tanya said, I will answer your question, but doing baby girl hair really quick. Okay, I got you. So it seems like they want to talk about the dudes doing just enough. So what is it that? Because I did earlier. I said that I do just enough, but then I'm taking that back because I don't know exactly where y'all going with dudes do just enough. So y'all gonna have to give me example on when a dude is doing just enough, and if you know it's just enough, why aren't you pushing them to do more? So just enough, doing just enough. Sometimes I'm thinking doing just enough, could it be keeping us from going or doing exactly what we supposed to be doing? Hereditary curse. I feel to do for others. I'm learning to out myself, then trickle down to each other. So you saying, others. So you saying you focus more on you first. Focus on others, but you trying to flip that star and start focusing on you first, and then allow it to trickle down to others. But apparently, you must be getting something out of helping others. So I'm never telling you to not stop your feel good moments, but we do have to pull ourselves into doing what it is that we must do. Ski Wee said 8 a.m. All right, Ski Wee. Thank you. Star said yes. Heather said, but seriously though, sometimes I do too much. Anxiety picks up at those times, and I know to take a look at my list and seeing what needs to be done today and tomorrow, and then what can be done later. So you're saying when you have like all of these tasks to complete, anxiety kicks in, and that forces you to knock off as much as you possibly can on the list. Is that what you're saying, Heather? So when can doing just enough be a bad thing? Right? I want to know, when is doing just enough a bad thing, and when does it work? So Heather, I'm trying to figure out if you're saying that you have this long list of stuff to do, and so you tend to overdo it, or you try to get it all done, but anxiety kicks in then, or anxiety kicks in because you have so much left. Which one is it? Tanya said, yes, Heather, so true. What about the anxiety, Tanya? So does baby girl Tanya do just enough to get by in school? Because I know some of these youngins that I be dealing with, they be saying they be doing just enough. And I be hearing people sometimes in the community saying that they do just enough to get by. So is doing just enough to get by, is that a bad thing? Or does that work for us? Because I keep going back to the federal government shutdown, and it just makes me wonder, like, is just enough a place of comfort, right? When we could push to do more, to be more secure, or is just enough pleases us? Because when I hear just enough, I wonder, like, just enough, are we settling? So help me out with that, because I don't know. Tanya, you said yes, she do good. Okay. So she pushes beyond just enough then, Tanya? Heather said a little different. I have to figure out sometimes that I can't do everything at once. So I have to figure out what is the priority and what can wait. And so how do you determine what Creed? Bam, I got it right this time. Just enough, Creed. Do you do just enough? And is just enough a good thing, or do you push beyond just enough? A few people say they experience anxiety. Star said, I know service is a part of my purpose, but I can't burn myself out for other people. I need fuel also. If no one is pouring into me, that needs to be my responsibility. I can't get that happening those who can't help themselves or those who can't help you in return. I don't mind it, but it takes a toll on your mind, body, and spirit. So why do those people you believe do just enough? Or is it just enough? Or is it that they can't? And so they reach a point where it is, this is all I can do. So this is my best. And then you come in and you push them to go beyond their best. So they're just enough, or just what I can do is limiting. But you help them expand and do even more than they were capable of before you came on board. Star said, because everyone is taught differently. What do you mean everyone is taught differently? I don't get it. Break that down for me. Help me understand so we all are clear. So, hey, Cynthia. Cynthia said doing just enough can be a good and bad thing sometimes. We have to push out of our comfort zone. So explain that. Explain, what do you mean push out of our comfort zone? So you saying it's just enough? Explain, because you said just enough is a good thing and a bad thing. So what do you mean by push out of our comfort zone? Star said yes, because we need each other ultimately. What do you mean we need each other? You mean people in general or the people that you're helping? Because if you need each other, if we ultimately need each other and you're just pouring into them and they're not pouring into you, so where does the need come in from you? For you, when you're saying that you don't have time to do what it is you need to do, so you need to do for yourself, pour into yourself because others aren't pouring into you? Or do you saying people need each other ultimately? I hope us doing this walk and talk in the morning times is us pouring into each other. Does that seem like because my goal is for us to pour into each other so we can help each other get to where we want to be and work through some of the things that we all may be battling. That's what my hopes is for Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey. Star say each one, teach one. Okay. So Cynthia, I'm still trying to figure out, can you help? Can you explain what is doing just enough? How is a bad thing and how is a good thing? And should we be pushed? Should we go beyond just enough? And can I get some examples from y'all on what is just enough, so I'll be clear on what just enough means to you all? So, because I know just enough for me usually means that I did enough today where I can go do something else, right? And sometimes I think it's a bad thing for me, because if I can do more, then why not do more? And that way tomorrow I won't have as much to do. Or like when I'm writing a book, I commit myself. I don't really have nothing on my schedule because I know I need to keep that train of thought and able to complete a project. And so if I had allowed myself to take meetings and stuff during the time of me writing, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm just going to write 2 chapters. That's going to be just enough for the day. But then I may struggle when I sit back down to continue to write the book. So I like to leave all that time open so I can knock it out. Star said yes because I read that. I'm sorry, Star. Tammy, hello, Tammy. So just enough. Are you doing just enough to get by? Do you, when you working on your goals, your dreams, or even at your job, and you got all of these assignments to do at your job, and you can actually finish this project today, but do you stretch it out? Do you say, all right, I'm going to do this part today, that's going to be just enough for the day, and then you do another part tomorrow and you make it last all the way to the end? Cynthia said, meaning we tend to settle and not push ourselves to do more than enough. Okay. So you see doing just enough is settling? I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. So, who in here always do more than just enough? And who in here only do just enough to get by? And do you regret doing just enough? Because if I'm your employer and I know what your task is for the week, and I come past and you on social media listening to Walk and Talk with Lamont Carey, and I'll be like, did you finish on that project? And you be like, I just did the report part. So I took that out of the way, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do blah blah blah. And I'll be like, not on my clock. Not I'm do you need to check out because you still got 4 hours to go. And if that's all you doing, that's just enough for the day, then you need to clock out. Cause I'm paying you for them other 4 hours that you listening to Walk and Talk with Lamont Curry. So I need you to do a little bit more than just enough. I need you to earn my bankroll. Cynthia said yes. Star said that's called multitasking. Skiwi said just enough. X, because I know my sons one do just enough to live paycheck by paycheck, and I know his potential, and I know that he can do better. He just choose not to by being lazy. So he looking at doing. So you say he doing just enough uh, to work to pay his bills. So just enough for him is making sure that all the bills are paid and he ain't got to do no more because all that is comfortable. Skiwi said, I listen to you and do my work on another screen so I can multitask pretty well. Okay. So the boss ain't going to say, Skiwi, yeah, you still working on that project? So multitasking is, I'm really not one that can do the most multitasking, so I got to focus. So like right now, I could be checking emails and all that. But if I'm checking emails and all that, then I'm missing what I'm doing with y'all. So I try to focus. I don't know what's up with that. I got like that tunnel vision, but it helps me get through. So Skiwi said exactly. Okay. So how do you push your kid to do more than just enough? When you know that they have the potential, how do you push your significant other to do more than just enough? Because I know the one thing about, yeah, I'm going to say, when you deal with a female, she always sees some potential in you that you do not see in yourself. And y'all be like nudging. Come on, you can do better. You can do this. Do this. You can do this. Pushing. Nudging. So y'all are great at seeing potential in other people. So, but how do you get somebody that does just enough to do more if you know that they're capable of it? Cynthia says sometimes doing just enough will disable you when you know that you can do more. It's a mindset. Well, you're going to have to give me an example of that, Cynthia. How can doing just enough disable you? Tanya say, I agree with Star. Multitasking is my strong point, I think. Well, I need y'all working with me because old boy is not capable of multitasking. Star said, but you are speaking and reading messages and interpreting what's being said and focus on the topic and goal. You are multitasking, bro. Well, thank you, sis. So now I'm a multitasker. Thank you, sister. Heather, why you laughing, Heather? Skiwi said, I never slack when it comes to my projects. And besides, I get here at 5 a.m. and it's quiet, so I have time to get most of it done before you come on. 5 in the morning, what time you supposed to be there? Star said, Lord, that part about men, that seeing potential will kill your spirit. I mean, that's what y'all do. I mean, I don't know how many people I've been, I ain't gonna lie. People have seen potential in me that I never even recognized, right? And I'm talking about when dealing with a dude and you be like, you could do this. You could do this, Lamont. You could do that, Lamont, and you could do that. But if I don't see it, then what you see does not connect to me. And then you trying to encourage me to do it begin to sound like you nagging me, right? You trying to make me do something that I ain't interested in doing. Uh, Maybe I ain't the dude for you because you keep saying I could do this or I could do that, but that ain't what I want to do. So, but what I've learned with some of you, you can switch your approach, right? And make it like it's my idea. And I'll be like, yeah, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And all the time you stand behind me like, Bama, you weren't going to do nothing if I ain't put that thought in your head. But I just know when you be like, y'all see that potential and y'all be trying to encourage dudes to do what you think that we're capable of. If we don't see it, then we don't understand what the hell you talking about. Tanya said, I had 5 girls and I always try to push them to do better and tell them I know you can do it better. Example, stop, what are you bingoing about? That's a real live shout, that bingo there. Hey, Lynn, Cynthia Curry, preach lady. Ski Wee, I supposed to be here at 6 a.m., but I come in early and leave early. Ah, okay. So you come in an hour early and leave an hour early, or you come in an hour early and leave 5 hours early. Star said, okay, switch up the technique. Yes. Tanya said, because sometimes someone see what you don't see in see it in you yourself. Got you. Heather said, okay, Lamont, you know what's up. Yeah, so example, right? So, like when I don't know if y'all used to remember, I used to wear like the do-rag joint and the black jacket. And so Melanie used to be like, boy, why don't you switch it up a little bit? You done made it to this next level, and if you want access to different kind of money, then you have to. You don't have to change who you are. But sometimes when you go into a bank to apply for a bank loan, then maybe you want to look like they look. You want to put on a suit and tie. And I'm like, man, this is my business. I run my own business. I ain't got to dress to them. That's why I run my business, because I ain't got to dress like how they want me to dress. I dress like who I want. Woo, 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 woo. And so when I try to do those things that I think I could do my way, it ain't always work out. And so when she talked about that it can give me access to other money or other opportunity, I said, all right, I'm going to try. I'm going to put on a suit, but I ain't going to wear no tie. So I bought a suit, didn't wear a tie, put pocket squares, right? And then everything kind of shifts, right? People on the street even look at you and greet you different. And then when you're going for the job interview or whatever you're going in and you looking like how they think that a professional is supposed to look, then the meeting starts off good. Because when I was coming in there with the do-rag and the street look, they was judging me based off of what their perception of how I was dressed. And so the biggest thing that she told me, changing my clothes didn't change who I was on the inside. Does that make sense? So she saw some potential in me that I didn't see, and she saw where I was limiting myself at, but I thought I was doing just enough because I'm running my own business. I dress my way, blah, blah, blah. But even in running your own business, you still have to do business with other people. And what they say, first impressions is the lasting impression, right? So, go back to multitasking. Slide, what's up, champ? Cynthia said, because we tend to settle for just enough to get by when we know there's more we can do. Change your mind, change your life. We all have potential to do more. Skiwi said, I be on government. Yeah, government don't play that. Star said, yes, Melanie. Skiwi said, it makes a difference for sure. So, Skiwi said, absolutely, they do all the time. That's like male with dreads. Right. Oh, you talking about like the interview? Right. Star said, limitations on our sales. I can relate to that. So what do y'all think about that? I mean, we might do something on perception tomorrow. But what do y'all think about Uh, like, all right, so an individual. So I'm thinking. I think I was thinking because I started my own business that I set my own rules, right? And then I learned that even though I set my own business, I still got to do business with other people. And so what I thought gave me freedom, it just created a false perception on how I view now that I'm my own business owner, what I can do, and that I don't have to adhere to all these other people rules. But I see that when you want something from somebody, they want to give something to somebody they can trust, and they judging you up on first seeing you. Sly said, "Peace, bruh. I have 4 jobs. I get 5 hours of rest. I do it all to retire my future wife, Skiwi. Huh, man? I hear you. 4 jobs? Woo. So, is there a way? Cause all right. So your goal is to retire your future wife, right? So, do you consider the 4 jobs just enough, or are you working harder? Uh, like I'm trying to, cause 4 jobs is a lot, and getting 5 hours of sleep. I know as the older that we get, then we tend to sleep less. But I think 5 hours of sleep, brother, you want some serious coffee, some energy drink, drug. So how can you work hard? I mean, how can you work smart? I'm not saying quit your 4 jobs, but if you work in 4 jobs, brother, you have 4 different skill sets. Is there a way that you can like merge those skill sets together and where it may qualify you to work for, say, one of those companies and make way more money? Not telling you that don't work 4 jobs. I'm just saying when I'm hearing 4 jobs, I'm like, God dang, you doing more than just enough. You doing far and beyond, and I appreciate your goal to be able to retire your future wife. But brother, that's a lot of grind, a whole lot of grind. So we know that Sly isn't working just enough. Sly is working far and beyond. Star said she going to be like the mom on Everybody Hates Chris. My husband got 18 jobs. I don't need this. I'm sure your future wife will want to spend some time with you. 5 hours, right? Wow. Because I'm like, 5 hours, you ain't got time for nobody. You got to get off that last job and sleep in the car. Star said, man, not mom. Oh, I got you, Star. I got you. So, how do you push yourself to do more than enough when you should be doing more than enough? How do you do that? Sly said, I have my own business as well, along with taking care of my elderly parents. Got you. So what's the other 2 jobs? So taking care of the elderly parents and your own business. So how much time are you able to invest in growing your business? So I'm assuming that you started your own business so you can minimize like all of those other jobs that you have to work in. So how much time are you able to devote to your business? Because I'm thinking if you're working 4 jobs, uh, even though you're doing more than enough with them combined, but how much do you really be able to give? Like, can you really give your full attention and go beyond the call of duty and 4 different jobs off of 5 hours of sleep? Because I'm trying to imagine how in the world are you able to pull that off? Because you definitely doing more than just enough with 4 jobs. But how does it look in each individual job and running your business? So are you dedicated? So 24 hours in a day. So you saying 19 hours in a day you up working. So 19 divided by, I ain't even gonna go on. I'm not gonna make myself look bad on live, but you doing a whole lot, brother. You doing a whole lot. So working, I mean, enough. Are you doing just enough, or are you doing far beyond? Because I try to do far beyond, but sometimes I be in the mood for just enough, especially when it comes to doing like technical writing or all of these trying to market here, trying to engage these people. So I have to create like daily tasks so I know, I mean weekly tasks so I know exactly what I'm doing and so I can mark off to keep track. So my goal is to always accomplish my goal within a time frame. And so I guess as long as you're being successful with what you're doing, then maybe just enough is working for you. But if you're not getting the results that you ultimately want, then doing just enough ain't working. Because if the goal is to have some accomplishments under our belt, or to acquire something, then or to have peace within ourselves, if you're not accomplishing those things, then doing just enough may not be working, and we may have to put in a little bit more work. But I don't know. This is just my perspective. All of y'all have your own lives and opinions, and that's why I put this topic up. Are we doing just enough? But tomorrow, I want to talk about perception, because I think perception like can get us thrown off in a lot of different ways. And eventually we're going to talk about relationships, because you know how women be seeing this potential in us and be pushing us out of our comfort zone, not even out of our comfort zone, but sometimes in zones that we don't even want to be in. But once we get in them, we see how their foresight is amazing, and we be glad to have y'all. So even though dudes be resistant, we be thankful for y'all once we finally try what you ask us. But you got to spread it out. You can't just pile everything on that. I should be doing this, you should be doing that, because then we just spinning. But we ain't talking about that. We talking about doing just enough. But for now, just do just enough. When you trying to get us to live into our potential, do just enough to let us ease into it and get our feet wet and see what you've been telling us actually works, and it improve our life in some fashion, or it improve our relationship. But if you bombard us with it, that's just gonna freak us out. Sly said, I live my life by asking myself, what is an hour of my life worth? That's a good question. What's an hour in your life worth? I know I be putting price tags on my hours. Hey, Brandy. So, I'm not going to keep y'all, but tomorrow, what y'all want to talk about? Do y'all want to talk about relationships, or do y'all want to talk about perception? Because this relationship thing crept in today, and it made me like, So tomorrow, what y'all want to talk about? Relationships or perception? So, don't forget, February the 1st, we're going to be going over to my other page, Mr. Lamont Carey. So like that page, follow that page, subscribe to that page, because if you come here on February the 1st at 8 a.m., we're not going to be here, because we're going to be on the other page. Like this page, share this page, and check out this journal. I created this to help me, but I found it beneficial. It even got in the back, it got some like motivational quotes, and if you're not a writer and you're used to expressing yourself by drawing, so I put a little bit of everything in there. So this is like my travel companion, and in my workshops, individuals tend to love it. So I appreciate you. I want to see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. Don't forget, unless I have to do something else. But for the most part, I've been here, been faithfully coming, and I appreciate you all who have faithfully come and stood here, poured into me, allowed me to pour into you, and we're going to be successful together. So until tomorrow, y'all, stay safe, stay happy, know that you're worth everything that you want. You just got to demand it sometimes. Later.